All right, you guys got to give me just a minute here. Just a minute is all I ask. Hold on. Hang on, I can't get anything to pair. This is just not good, guys. I can't keep having these failures like this. I need new equipment, that's for sure. New equipment so bad. I just can't afford it. Let me try this, guys. I can't get the mics to work, and if we can't get the mics working, yeah, I know it's working now, but I can't, I have to, these have to work to do the stream, unfortunately. So, give me just a second, guys. I'm so sorry. This crap always happens when I'm in a hurry. Yeah, I know we've got sound, guys, but I have to have the mics working or we can't do it, unfortunately. It just won't work out. Good. Just a minute. We're good. Okay. That was weird. I don't know why I did that. You're going to lose the audio for just a split second here. All right, so we got to go quickly and fast with a balloon launch. Oh, where are my balloons? Under here? Oh, shit. Oh my God, come on, man. I swear to God. It's always something. So we got to quickly launch one of these. I just don't have time to give you guys a nice close-up like I want to. I wish I did. But I've got a sonde running out there, basically. And we have to do this really fast. So let me open up a cylinder here. And I think, oh my God, what's going on with things today? I swear. There we go. I think I've got enough hose now that we can, I don't even need to move the cylinder. So we're running, and I'll explain what we're testing here in a minute. We just got to get this thing going because it's been running for testing and we're about to lose the damn battery on it. Shit, I will have to move it. Hold on, I got to move the cylinder a bit. But basically we're testing integration into a national network of radio sonde receivers. So we're going to test and see if other receivers also pick up on our equipment to help us out a little bit. So that's the plan. I don't really have anything to hold that, but it'll be fine. So as many of you know, real easy. We just insert the balloon onto the hose and we take some tape and we just tape it to the hose. And this is just to keep the helium from leaking, but also to keep the balloon from shooting off the end of the hose. And I'm going to take some string. And oh my God, too many emails. Guys, if you're sending me emails, that one was a viewer. Just hold on a minute if you could. I'm just going to take this string and run it all the way down to the other end here. This way I know I've got enough. Because I like to run the string out the door. And I'm going to open the door Sorry that this isn't our normal launch procedure. Just let me tie up our radio sonde real quick. Just gonna tie it that way we don't have to move it. I don't want it to lose GPS, so I don't want to bring it in the shop. It's actually pretty nice out. It's like 60 degrees. So, all right, we're good. So we're gonna fill this balloon. It's a 100-gram balloon, and then we're gonna take it out there and let it go. Hopefully, we're still good. Yep. So we'll explain all of your questions here in a minute. Let me get this thing running. Start off nice and gentle because those little ones are a little fragile. The neck is anyway. Sometimes they like to twist up, but once on the neck likes to twist. Once you get about that much in there, it doesn't twist anymore. Thanks for joining, everybody. And we're gonna wait for this thing to pick up. We'll know that it's done when it picks up this weight, because this is the calculated amount of lift the helium in the balloon needs to generate in order for us to have a good launch. And I'm running my vehicle setup right now, which is why this has got such a long string on it. The setup we normally run in the shop here is shorter. Let me give it a little more juice here. I was a little bit careful because I didn't wipe off that baby powder. And I don't want it the tape to slip, so I'm just gonna take the weight and let the weight hang. And as soon as this thing can suspend that weight, or basically pick that weight up a little bit, then we know we've got just as much helium as we need. So you'll see that start to float in a minute. There it goes. That's it. Now, if I was using my brain, I would have my cutters and my string over here. But I'm not using my brain, and that's not anchored, so this thing's trying to float away on me. So bear with me here. It's not tethered to anything. It's a little sketchy here. If we get a gust of wind that comes in here because my bay door is open, we are in for just a little bit of trouble here. I like to use the cotton string on these 100-gram balloons because the neck is a little more fragile, and it does seem to want to try to pinch. It does try to want to pinch in the zip tie. The 200-gram balloons don't do that just because there's more material there. And I'm afraid I'm going to nick it. And if you pop one of these balloons by your ear, I can only imagine, that's going to be a mess. So, all right, so 3 pieces of string. We can use zip ties if we have to. Like if I were out on the road, we would just use zip ties because when you're in the wind, you can't do the string. But in here, I try to do it a little more controlled. Usually you would fold the neck over. I'm not going to do that because I don't have a safety line on here. Basically, I have nothing tethering this to the ground other than the hose and the weight. Let me just make sure that we've got everything running. Last was received at 55.55, okay? So let me take you guys out. Take you guys out to the launch site. Hopefully this doesn't tip over like it did last time. I don't think so. I wonder if I should hang some weight on that. Hold on. I'm going to hang my backpack on my tripod so it don't tip over. That should help it. All right. Make sure that we have data. We have data. My last data was received just a few seconds ago. So right now I'm just doing the obvious, which is removing the balloon from the hose, which, duh, right? No leaks. All right, so now I'm just walking the balloon out. And you'll see me in a second here. Whoa, the balloon about took the camera out. I got a long string, so I'm not running a de-reeler right now. So I'm trying to not get it tangled up. And this is just really easy, but you got to be careful. I don't want this to get caught on the building. So I don't even know which way the wind's going. So here goes. There it goes. That's it. Take a picture. And she's gone now. That's all there is to it. You gotta be a little careful when it's windy with those 100-gram balloons because they don't take off quite the same force. There she is up there. See it? Did it drop the sand? No, it's still there. See the sand swinging at the bottom? Okay. Data. Keenan says data is coming in. I'll take his word for it. I don't have it on the screen. I literally had no time to put it on the screen. Like I had to run to do this because I forgot that battery was nearly dead. Let me get this up on the screen here. So it looks like Keenan put the link in, so you guys can go see it. You guys are seeing more data than I'm seeing right now. So I'll take your word for it. So everything seems to be working. So if you go to wxeye.org, which is our website, it'll be the first or the latest sonde. And I'll show you in a second here. If this ever turns on, yeah, so we've got data coming in. Hold on one second. Let me see if we can still see it. Because if I can still see it, I'll take you guys back out. Oh yeah, I can still see it, but you guys aren't going to see it on camera. I mean, I can definitely see it, but the camera is not going to, it's going to miss it. If this works, we're done. I don't have to fuck with anything else. Sorry for the language, but that's all my life has been these past few months, has been effing with something. If this works, I'm done. I can finally breathe. Like, you have no idea the amount of excitement I have right now if this is working. Because that means I'm done. I don't have to be a slave to this anymore, which is just great. Yeah, so we're at 3,400 feet, so obviously it's working. We haven't moved a whole lot because there's not a lot of wind up there. Our wind speed's only about 40 miles per hour. One thing I want to make mention to you guys, when you click on stats, and this does work on your phone, we've got our flight duration, minimum and maximum temperatures, the dew point. Basically, these are your minimum and maximum. So if you just kind of want to get an idea of, you know, hey, what's actually going on with this thing or what went on with this thing, we've got our minimum and maximums here. And then our SKU-T, this is live coming in. This SKU-T comes in live. Now, that's not going to plot parcel. That's not going to plot CAPE, SIN, none of that. This is basically just a dummy plot. You'll go to analysis, which is this tab up here, but this will give you the full Sharpie type sounding, but we're not going to get that until the balloon is burst or it's gone out of range. So the flight has to be complete to get that. And then, of course, the map is pretty obvious. So data's coming in. Let's check SondeHub because we are sharing our data with SondeHub. A lot of folks wanted to have our data on SondeHub so that they could go chase the sonde and retrieve it. So we send our tele to SondeHub also. And I'm seeing it on SondeHub. Let's see, 301A, that's my truck. So my truck's receiving it. I don't know if our portable receiver is receiving it. I don't think it is. But our truck, my truck receiver is pulling it up. That's the wxi.org 301A. A is the Tahoe, B is the truck, and then C is the white Tahoe. we'll see that it'll come in as portable A if the portable station gets it, but I don't know if the portable station's working. I think I need to reflash that. I think it's got a bad image on it. It's also inside the building. Let me go put it outside once. That might help. I don't have a radio. I wish I did. To say we could actually hear the telly. So that's SondHub. So SondHub is actually going to give us a predictor. So it's actually predicted to go over the lake, as always, But the SondHub, I like SondHub because this gives people a way to view sonds that aren't just ours, but it also is good. These people that like to go chase these down and retrieve them, they can log them as retrieved. We don't use SondHub for what we're doing, but we share our data with SondHub because there is a huge amateur, non-professional community around what we do that uses this for non-professional reasons, if that makes sense. When we're making our decisions, we use our system because it plots the data in a scientific way that we need, whereas SondHub is geared for the amateurs, which there's nothing wrong with, the hobbyists, right? Basically how this works is this data comes in through our ground receiver. It then sends it to SondHub and our API on the server that's right over there. So it goes to our API, and our API pushes to the SondHub server. It copies our data over. And the way that this works is that if it goes out of range of our receiver, we are leveraging the MQTT stream, I believe it is, from SondHub to pull in data from our radio sonde if it goes out of range of our receiver. So for example, SondHub has a station here, here, and here. It's possible when our sonde gets over east of Mukwonago here, that this northern Chicago receiver might pick it up, or this one up here by Waukesha might pick it up, and we might lose our receiver here in Stoughton, which is on my truck, which means that that's data we wouldn't have. So we are donating them our data. No other station is picking up our sonde right now. So SondHub would not have our sonde right now, period, if we obviously weren't donating them our data, right? So in return, that push and pull, we take that data back if it goes out of range of our system. So one of the other SondHub receivers, if they start picking it up and we're not picking it up, our API will say, hey, our station lost it. Let's check SondHub, and it'll ping SondHub's it'll listen in on that data stream, the MQTT, I believe it is, data stream, and it will actually start pulling in, but only our SondHub ID or sonde ID. So it'll start pulling that in so that if we lose it and somebody else has it, we can still get it. So that's our national network. Obviously, we're contributing to that as well, and we'll also be making a financial donation to them as well too. But that's how we're able to kind of make this work, beyond our borders here. Hello, everybody. So Keenan put a link to track this in the chat. Now, if you go to our website, it's always going to be the first sounding here, right? You go to the thing here where it says view sounding. You click on it, and it's going to bring this up. And this works on mobile. So this is what your GoFundMe has gone toward. This has been the fact that this is working, guys. I'm not kidding. This has been day in and day out my life for the past, since October, and it has been tearing me apart. I have not slept. I have not socialized. I barely eat. I'm sick all the time because I have to make this work. I've built a robust API on a bread and cheese budget, made it work really well. We've got the equipment. We've got the backing from the audience. We've got the data, and now we're also sharing data. We have a seriously robust system that did not exist prior, that we are now able to collect high resolution, 1 second atmospheric data from the field in front of severe weather. That means a supercell just went up. We can be 10 miles ahead of it, and we can tell you what the photograph looks like. We can get an STP or an SCP value. We can look at CAPE. SYN, inversions. We can look at all of that targeted directly for storm chasers, more importantly, meteorologists and researchers in the field. I am absolutely finally taking credit for myself where it is deserved, because this has been my child, my baby, my child for the past since October, and nonstop. And we would not be here without the audience. We have built something that did not exist before and is a 150 radiosonde allowance for April, May, June, and possibly into July. That's 150 observed soundings that we're going to get in severe weather environments. We are not strapped to a specific launch location. We are not strapped to a specific time period. Our only constraint is fuel and getting there on time. That's what your GoFundMe has gone toward. We are almost $20,000. I've got $30,000 worth of radiosondes that I have not paid for yet. We have $10,000 more of equipment that I have to pay for yet, and a lot of other stuff that I have to pay for yet. We still need your help, but this $25,000 bite out of the budget, which is the GoFundMe once we reach it, is huge, because that basically erases our research and development budget that we didn't have, but we spent anyway, and basically resets the board. So everything seems to be working. It looks like our last data came in just a few seconds ago. We're up to 10,000, 11,000 feet now. This one might die. The battery is really low because I've had it on testing it. So this one might die. So just expect this one to crap out early, potentially. That doesn't necessarily mean anything's wrong. But this is what your money and what your super chats, your channel memberships, your GoFundMe, your viewership has supported over the past many months. It has not supported my lifestyle. It has not supported me buying new cars. It has not supported me buying fancy shit that I don't need. It has supported basically modernizing the way that we collect data as storm chasers and researchers in the field with a robust API and background network, so that we no longer have to do a weather balloon launch and look at the data and then analyze it 20 hours after the storm happened. We're doing it in real time. You're going to get a Sharpie sounding off of this thing as soon as the balloon bursts. I don't have to touch it. It goes directly into our Discord, and it posts directly here. And as soon as we get it hooked up to the webhook on Twitter, it's going to post directly to our Twitter automatically. I don't have to do anything. Launch the balloon, you walk away. We have several people that are going to be helping us in the field this year. This allows them to also be professional radiosonde technicians, basically. They don't have to sit there and clean data. Our API cleans the data. We're cleaning the wind data. We're cleaning the dirty data from the surface. All that stuff that you manually would have to do with an Intermet or a Vaisala ground station, entering in surface ops, none of that. Our API does it. We have basically created it so that now you can be an appliance operator. You take your helium, you fill your balloon, you launch it, you walk away. It's done. It's completely done. And I'm really, really happy with that. Let me share the link to this on Twitter so people can watch. Let's look at SondHub. Yeah, so it's still picking it up only off of our receiver. Which is fine. That's what we expect. Yeah, and so far so good. Let me walk outside and see if I can still see it. We might. It's not that far away, but it's also at like 12,000 feet. Hold on. No, I definitely sure as hell can't see it. All right, let me shut the door. It was worth a try. All right, now what I want to do is go into my office and track this a little bit more. I want to look at the computer. You're going to lose audio for a split second. I won't tell you how much each radio sonde costs because that would be jeopardizing my contract pricing. But I will tell you it is between $200 and $300. And just a reminder, folks, that's my money. You know, that's money that I could be taking a vacation with, or buying a fancy car, or doing something with my kids with, or something, right? But we're giving it back to the science community here, and that's why it's so important that we get a little bit of help from the audience. And you guys have really helped us. You guys have really helped us with that, and I appreciate that a lot. Let me get you guys set up here. Yeah, I would love to give details like that, but it jeopardizes my contract pricing. And there's also a lot of people out there that are trying to see this fail, and we don't want to do that. Definitely not. 1 second here, I forgot about this. Will this work if you buy your own sonde? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. I'm not quite sure what you're referring to. Let me see. I mean, this is a commercial scientific research mission. I mean, like, it's not like, right? Like, you can't go on Amazon and buy like what we're doing here. Like this isn't like a turnkey thing, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's quite what you're asking or not, but I see the Discord notification went through, which is good. We're going to make that public to all Discord members here soon so that you guys can all get that. So far, this is looking good. All the data looks good. The SKU is coming in good. I'm happy. This is good. Everything's working. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. I'm happy with this. So I'm gonna get the chat pulled up. Yeah, so like I said, the battery on this battery voltage is 5 volts. It's not bad, but this thing's been on for some time, so it might die. We are up to our ascent is a little bit light. 10.3 miles per hour to meters per second. 4.6. Okay, that's fine actually. So we are at 16,000 feet. This particular radio sonde should go up somewhere around 48 to 60,000 feet. Hold on, I'm getting the chat now. I got kind of screwed up on me here. I have to go into the YouTube studio to pull it. It's still loading. It's just ridiculous. YouTube's been having some problems this week, and it's not just me. Community pop-out chat. That's what we want. Oh, this damn thing. Freaking there we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, so we got that rolling. Live chat. You want to buy a Rayob, but you don't know how to receive the data. So I was wondering if this program. Well, this isn't a program. This is an ecosystem. If that makes sense. If you mean Rayob, like I'm not like. Don't take this the wrong way. I'm trying to word that like I'm gonna sound really, really rude when I say this, and I don't mean it to. I just don't know how to say it differently. I think you might be potentially misunderstanding, and again, not that you're doing anything wrong, but you might be not misunderstanding. You might be oversimplifying this a little bit. Like I'm not quite sure. Like by Rayob, like are you talking about you want to purchase like a ground station, radio sonde, antenna, and all that? Because I mean, we're talking $30,000 to $60,000 worth of infrastructure. Like you really don't just go buy a radio sonde and just launch it on a balloon. You have to have a way to receive the data and then clean the data and then publish the data. It may sound simple, And again, I don't mean this to sound rude. I'm trying to like stress how much there is to this. If you the only like commercial way to do that would be to purchase like a commercial system from like Visala, whatever, Graw. You're talking $20,000 for a ground station, and then like minimum orders of probably 30 radio sons at $300 a piece. Um, this is extremely complex infrastructure with a huge price tag. Like you can't just buy, like let's use this analogy, right? Like you can't just go into Walmart, and I know that nobody expects Walmart to, but you can't just like go into Walmart and, you know, for lack of a better term, and go into the electronics section and buy one radio sonde and a receiver. It just doesn't work like that. Um, if that makes sense, like if you want to launch weather balloons and receive the data, you're looking at $100,000 price tag, I would say minimum. There is one company that does radio sondes, but they're junk. Wind sonde, they are not good. They basically make them out of styrofoam cups, and they go up to like 10,000 feet. Whoop-de-doo. Which gives you nothing. The only like turnkey solution that somebody would find would be to buy a ground station from a radio sonde manufacturer that works only with their ground stations. But there's none of those, not a single one of them that exists, outputs that data live, meaning you have to basically sit there with your laptop, receive the flight data, and when the flight is complete, you would export that data, and then you would still have to run it through like Sharpie or MetPy or whatever, and plot your sounding. There is like, I mean, there are some like SDR ways to do it, but it's not. It's still, it's not really a way to like. There's a lot to it, I guess. What if it hits a plane? I get this question all the time, and in the history of weather balloon radio sondes, we've never had one hit a plane. A couple months ago, people say that a weather balloon hit a commercial airplane. That was a sandbag. That was literally a bag of sand attached to a balloon that is nothing like what we have. It was a clear plastic balloon that looks similar to a shopping bag, filled with sand. So it was literally a mass, right? It was a ballast for a private company called Windborne that's trying to do all this AI trash. I'm sorry, it's garbage, right? But whatever. And that hit an airplane or whatever. That's the first time anything ever did. But that's not. We are launching a 100-gram radio sonde with a 9-gram piece of string. So that is the same mass as 109 paper clips. Conveniently speaking, I believe that my soda cap is 3 grams. Let me Google it, but I'm pretty sure it is. Average grams weight of soda cap plastic. 2 grams. This is 2 grams. So that's like having 50, roughly, 50 of these soda bottle caps. That is the weight of our payload. It would do absolutely nothing to an airplane whatsoever, because a bird, birds hit airplanes, right? A bird weighs significantly more than 109 grams. Unless like a hummingbird or something. But the amount of time that our weather balloon is within flight level, which is maybe 10, let's just say roughly like 5,000 up to 35,000 roughly feet, is very minimal. In fact, I think we're already through flight levels. Almost. We're at 22,000 feet. We've got a little bit of a slow ascent going. Not really, but we've got a very calm atmosphere by the looks of it. And that's kind of giving us a kind of a very stable rise through this column of air. We're almost to 400 millibars though. So no, hitting an airplane is not a concern whatsoever. Not at all. It's not even a thing. I mean, The Weather Service launches about 100 of these things a day, and we don't have, it doesn't happen. I guess you want to be part of the mission. I guess I'm not going to sell anybody anything we're doing because I would have to charge you about $20,000 because what I've put into this is over like $36,000 right now in research and development. So no, I'm not going to sell what we've done. If somebody wants to be part of the mission, you are welcome to operate under our umbrella. I don't know if we necessarily need more help this year, but for certain in 2027, our 27 mission is going to be much larger and will require more people. There may be a use for more operators there. But the amount, like, I appreciate the offer of like purchasing for cash, but the amount of money that like one of these launches is hundreds of dollars. And I can't be a reseller, right? Like I don't want to just sell other people that we don't know my equipment, because my equipment is for us to use. And I need to be able to control the quality of what's happening. That's why the people that operate with Project Weather Eye are trained in this and are well versed in the equipment and the launch process, so that we know that data, if it does find something that's scientifically meaningful during a severe weather outbreak or something, we can sign off on that data and say that, yes, that's good data. But I'm not opposed to accepting assistance, boots on the ground type assistance from folks. I mean, you're welcome to email us, I guess, and it's going to be a while before I get to the email. I'll be honest with you. I'm really, really pressed for time. But you can email us and put your interest in, and definitely when the need arises, because it will arise, whether it's still this year or 2027, there will absolutely be a need for more people to come out and have an interest in this. Because we don't just launch these to launch them, right? Like, we do this in a very calculated way. Like, we have a certain procedure and a certain way and a certain plan of what, where, and how many to launch. When it comes to severe weather outbreaks, big days, we're going to be coordinating 3 or 4 launches at a time to basically, like the freaking nuclear missiles, like all the balloons are going to be freaking rising from the ground here. We might have, like, if we've got a big severe weather outbreak happening potentially from, like, let's say Wichita to Amarillo, we might have somebody in Amarillo, somebody in Woodward, somebody up in Wichita, and maybe somebody over in Oklahoma City, and we're all going to launch in a coordinated effort at the same time. That's why it's really important that we use our resources basically in a way that we can kind of control and clean the data. It sucks that they cut budgets so much, grant money. Yeah, I know. They cut. The Weather Service, I guess, is running at full budget for this again, though, which is good. But still, I think full budget is a little bit under budget. Yeah, there's still a lot of hams that do the balloon launches, and I get an email from them at least once a month telling me that what I'm doing is illegal because I don't have a Morse code identifier on and all this. And I'm like, it is a commercial radio sound. This has nothing to do with ham radio. And then, oh my God, they get mad at me. I'm dead serious. Once a month, I get an email from a ham radio operator telling me something's wrong. And I know we got a lot of ham radio operators that watch, but no offense, guys. It's so out of place to have somebody that talks on a walkie-talkie call up, for lack of a better word, the guy that's using the same equipment the National Weather Service does and say your equipment's bad. Like that, I don't get it. And then I kind of educate these people, and then they tell me about Part 97 and all this. I'm like, yeah, I'm aware. I also have a ham radio call sign, which was probably potentially a mistake in my life. But, I have that. I understand that, and we're not doing anything wrong. Go ahead and call the FCC, do whatever you're going to do, which they have. And then the FCC is like, oh, what are they doing wrong? Like, it's got nothing to do with ham radio, because their complaints are that, number one, there's no Morse code ID. Well, this is not operating in the ham radio spectrum. It has nothing to do with ham radio. And number two, that I'm using it for commercial purposes. And with ham radio, you're not supposed to use it for commercial purposes. Well, that's correct. This is a commercial purpose. And it's not ham radio. So that's why I get really annoyed when I see those emails. And I get so annoyed that I have to respond because it's like, oh my God, another one of these. I swear to God, all the damn time, guys. All the time. It's so annoying. So annoying. It's nerd rage. Yeah, guys, I don't understand why somebody would be sitting at home and be like, I'm going to email this guy and tell him that his radio is illegal. It is a commercial meteorological instrument that literally has spectrum set aside for it. Like, it's its own set of things. I don't, it's so annoying. I swear to God. All right, so it looks like our radio sound's being picked up by the SoundHub network now. And I think it looks like it's starting to get out of range of our station. This doesn't get the attention it deserves. No, I completely agree. There's so many people on the internet that, when it comes to storm chasing and the weather, that should be all over this, but they're not because it's not cool enough for views. But no, I absolutely agree with you. This does not get the attention it deserves. But once we're out there operating in full force, that's when we could start making more content about it and start explaining what we're doing, and we can, start educating and pushing it a little bit more, if that makes sense. Yeah, we're all the way up almost to 300 millibars. We're at 30,000 feet. This is a good sounding. Even if it crapped out right now and we got no more data, this would be enough sounding that we would have good information. I am thrilled that this is working out. I don't see any issues. Seems to be good. Battery voltage is down to 4.5. I think we died about 3.6. It looks like it might be out of range of my ground station, which is on the Tahoe out there. In fact, it looks like it might be out of range of a lot of, I think we might have, actually, I wonder if we just lost it. It'll backfill if it gets picked up. Oh, no, truck just picked it up. It'll backfill. Oh yeah, we got all the data, guys. We are doing just good, just fine. I am watching the chat now, so we can go over things, I guess. This project is something special. No, I agree. I completely agree. It's become quite the thing. I can tell you that. So we just hit 30,000 feet. Why won't it let me copy the damn link? I'm gonna drop the link in chat here. All right, so I just put the link in chat. Let me get a screenshot of this, and then I'll add the notes to the live stream or the viewer, Because in the viewer, we've actually got like a little media spot where you can look at data or look at the equipment. I'm trying to put some images with every launch. Just it kind of helps, you know, the visual learners kind of see what we're doing. Yeah, there's nothing to it when your stuff works. Yeah, Paul, we got ripped off by frickin' Uline, assholes. They weren't locked in, guys. Uline didn't lock in. They should have locked in. It's ridiculous. Gotta hate when people don't lock in. I know Paul hates it when people don't lock in. Oops. Oops. God dang this thing. So I can actually add these images and then notes to the launch so it shows up. And if you look in the, as soon as I add them in the top right of the website, it'll give you a little button to click. It looks like a yellow notification with a clipboard. That'll be the remarks, which are our comments, and then the pictures. And I can add those through our Discord, which is cool. I have a Discord bot that does it. So I just sent them, which means that if you refresh, yeah, if you refresh your page, it's, oops, only one of them showed up though. Ah, I see what, hang on. I didn't multi-select, hang on. I'm trying to make this kind of a little more like a, almost like a social media site for the launches we do. All right, let me put the remarks in. So I just do slash remarks and then I select my Sond ID. And then it'll pop up with a, oops, with a thing. So if you refresh the viewer, and I'll put the viewer in the chat. I just put it, it's that link. There's a thing up at the top right that says launch info, and you click on it and it'll give you the notes and then the pictures. Which I think is kind of cool. So everything seems to be working. I'm happy with this. Our receiver is still picking it up. This thing is, where is this thing? It's over there by McGuanago. So it looks like we are picking it up, and yeah, it's picking it up just fine. So no issues there. It's most likely going to end up over the lake. Anyway, Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and probably sign off on this. I mean, like just like metaphorically, whatever, sign off and say that we're good because I think we're good. I get unnecessary hate for not conforming. Correct. Basically, um, it's it's because I say things that people don't think should be said because I'm not really so when you start here's the thing when you start doing like social media, you're supposed to only say politically correct things and only be positive. And being positive but by lying is not being positive. That's called being a liar, right? Um, it's definitely not how I was raised. I've been put through a lot in my life, and I've had a really rough life. Um, and I seriously mean that. I've been through a lot of things that I wish I didn't have to go through. Some of them were my own fault, and some of them were not. And it has made me realize that I'm not here to be a cookie cutter or someone's puppet. Um, I didn't start doing what I'm doing to be a popularity contest. I didn't start doing this to get a bunch of views. I started doing this because I thought it was cool. I don't give a shit about locking in. All I want to do is just be good at what I do and have fun doing it. And I'm having fun doing it, and I'm good at what I do. So it checks all the boxes. And I'm really fortunate to have a very dedicated audience and some dedicated people that really want us to really want to see us make this work. So I appreciate that comment because I know people do see it. By the way, if you guys are watching the tracker, you'll see that the temperature is rising. The temperature is going up, so we have just crossed the tropopause. We are now in the stratosphere. You're gonna have a little bit of warming up there. See, I just don't. It's to me, it's not like a defiance thing. It's just I don't want like. Here's the thing: if I'm friends with somebody, which you guys know I do have some friends, right? Um, I'm friends with somebody that's doing something really cool. I love to support it. I love being involved in it. Um, but I don't want to be involved in when people do this. Hold on a second. Slight temperature warming indicating we crossed the tropopause and into the stratosphere. Track this thing live. I probably spelled that all wrong. I look like an idiot. But I don't like the herd mentality. I think that is an easy way out. And I think what happens is one or a few people get successful, and then other people try to latch on and they leech. And what you find with the herd mentality is that a lot of those people that are claiming to be your friend, they're not your friend. They're just relying on you for views or notoriety or whatever. And I don't want to be in a position where I am relying on somebody for views. And I also don't want to be in a position where somebody else is relying on me for views, because that creates a power imbalance where now I have the guilt and the frustration of feeling like if I don't do good, somebody else doesn't do good. I have no problem with helping somebody out and, assisting with getting things up off the ground and, literally things like that. That's one thing. But I don't like kiss ass mentality, I guess. Let's put it that way, right? I mean, I'm not going to cut corners on this. Like, let's just be real. I just don't like the kiss ass mentality. And that's actually a good point for you to bring up because um, I think this is like my first time being able to explain this without it not making sense, right? Because we're actually sitting down and I think I think that we have too many people that are the same thing these days. When I started doing live storm chasing, I was different. The only people doing it realistically were Daniel, Nathan Moore, Reed, and me. Do you know how many people I make upset when I say that? A lot. Because they're all like, "Oh, Severe Studios, Severe Studios has been streaming since 2008." Okay. Where the hell was Severe Studios in 2018 when I started? Seriously, where were they? They weren't here. Yeah, these guys were streaming with 144p resolution back in 2008 at 1 FPS. Awesome. You're right. That's cool. We took it to another level. Nathan did too. Me and Nathan both did, but Nathan took it to another level too, with whether it's live views or connection bonding or just basically a real experience for the audience. Because the old storm chasing live stream experience basically used to be a muted video stream, and it was, here's your little tiny low resolution video, watch it, like it, or deal with it. We took it and made it something that you can build a community and an audience on, and that is actually a fact. And for about 2 years, that was a very unique and very rare beast. And then I helped some other people get involved, and then I trusted some people with some trade secrets, and learned to never do that ever. I'm dead serious, and that was a mistake, but got kicked in the nuts, in the dick several times for that. But whatever, we're still here, and it just became so saturated with the screaming kids just out there that are going to get killed. I'm dead serious. These people somebody's going to get killed chasing a tornado. And I said this the other day, this is going to sound really bad, but I ain't going to cry. I ain't going to feel bad because I told you so. And a lot of people told you so. There's a lot of experienced chasers that have said, if you guys don't shape up, you're going to get killed. Somebody's going to die, unfortunately, between now and 10 years from now, I think. I hope I'm wrong, but these people have turned storm chasing into an experience. Because there's a couple of ways you can go about storm chasing. As a hobbyist, like photographer, videographer, you just like the photo video aspect, like that's your hobby. Science, some people do this to research, or just the adventure part of it, right? Like you just like going out and you think it's cool to see lightning or tornadoes, right? There's a lot of different reasons you can do this. But a lot of these live streamers are missing all of those reasons. And they're only doing this because it's an adrenaline rush, which kind of is a drug in a way. It's almost a drug addiction, and it is not healthy. Or they're doing it just to spout off because it's their way to feel like they're Mr. Beast for the views. And Jason Persoff, he's a medical doctor. In fact, he teaches like an actual doctor, with mental health background in Colorado. Actually gave a presentation on this back in, I think it was 2018, at the old Chaser convention before this new thing came up, and talked about unhealthy addictions to things like this that aren't substances. And I really wonder if that's on YouTube somewhere. I should find it, because I found it really interesting, because I see a lot of these people that are showing character traits of addiction. And I'm going to be frank, a lot of you guys support it. Here's $100. Here's your addiction. And that's okay. I'm just saying there's a lot of people that support that. And that's why these people keep doing it. Not that donating is bad, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be a little careful. But, in pre-hospital care, we dealt with watching addiction a lot. And I noticed a lot of addiction traits from some of these. The demand, not the need, not just the desire, but the need to be up a tornado's asshole. Like, if these people are 20 feet away from a tornado, but they could have been 19 and a half feet away from the tornado, they blow up. They throw a fit. Like, they legit blow up. And it's a failure to them. That is basically an addiction to the adrenaline rush that they're getting. And that is seriously unhealthy and dangerous. And this goes for anything that you do. If you are so dependent on the feeling that you get from it, we're all adults here. Let's talk about sex, right? Everybody likes to have sex. And if you're having sex and it feels good, you probably are going to do it again. But if you can't live your life without doing it, and I'm not talking about that, like if you can't live your life without actually like doing the sex, then you have a problem. Yeah, a lot of people want to do it every 10 minutes, especially men want to do it every other 2 minutes, but you're not having a mental breakdown if you miss out on it. A lot of these people are almost having these like mental sexual orgasm reactions to driving into a tornado and nearly getting killed. And that is extremely unhealthy because you see these people posting about, I am not locked in, I have failed, and I've failed all you. No, you haven't failed. The only thing that you have done that's a failure is by losing sight of why you're out there doing that. It's not a failure to take your audience with and be a quarter mile from the tornado. The audience loves it. The audience doesn't give a shit. The audience just wants to go out there and see something. You didn't let anybody down. There's serious like mental health um, reasons, and I'm not saying that any of these people are bad for that, but it's the honest truth. And I feel for some of these people because I see like the mental struggle that some of them are going through. And it's like, that's got to be miserable. If I miss a storm, I don't care. Well, okay. Everybody has that fear of missing out, right? Where it's like, well, this is bullshit. And I get that too. We're at 45,000 feet. And I get that too. Like, I get pissed. It's like, God damn it, I could have been there, right? But I'm not going to go in a corner and cry. And I'm not saying these guys go cry, but like I've seen, and I've off of social media, like in person, I've seen some of these people get so violently angry because they picked the wrong storm. And I am not naming names, and no, it's not Brandon, no, it's not Corey, but some of these other folks that you might watch, I literally witnessed one of these people have such a mental breakdown at a gas station that I honestly thought that they were going to need like physically restrained. Like literally picked up the garbage can at the gas station and threw it at his car. He was so fucking mad. That is not healthy. That is ridiculous. That is violent, aggressive, abusive, horrible. Like, you need to go talk to somebody. It's okay to be pissed because you missed something, but if you are dependent on it for your sole source of happiness, that's when you have an addiction and there is a serious problem. And I'm not saying storm chasing is bad, but if it gets to that point, you have to do something. And I'm not saying you have to quit it, but you have to start finding a way to not treat it as an addiction, if that makes sense. And where I was going with all this when we went off on a tangent is I'm not out here for these like self-validation moments. I just like to do this because I love the adventure. If you take the storms out of it, we could still do this channel. It would be tough, but we could still do this channel by live streaming, just going to cool places. There's a lot of cool places to go look, drive around and stuff. We could do this channel without the storms. In fact, we do sometimes have to do it without the storms. Did we burst? No, we're still ascending. It's almost over the lake, by the way. It's almost to Racine. But I don't like that. I don't like that storm chaser bro attitude. I just don't. And, you know, everybody's trying to be Reed. And what people are missing is what Reed does, you know, the yelling and the excitement and the enthusiasm. That's not fake. That's like an actual personality trait of that guy. That's not for the camera. That's literally his like natural form. Like he gets that excited in person about stuff. I'll never forget the day I bolted his hood onto his Subaru, and it was just like, oh my God, it's amazing. Like the guy just loves things that he likes. But you get so many of these people that are like, I'm going to be Reed. You can't simulate that type of personality. You have to be your own person. You can't duplicate personalities. People think that driving into a tornado and almost getting killed or screaming makes you successful, and it doesn't. Maybe it could, depending on your personality. But like the only way to succeed out here is to do your own thing. Following and doing the sheep mentality, the herd, the flock mentality, that's going to work for a while. But at some point, it's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's so many cool things we can do out here, whether it's what we're doing here. Like we're building a research project. Like to me, this is cool because it's not just storm chasing anymore. It's also the science aspect. So now we have that much more we can do. We've also got, you know, we get to go out and see places. It's an adventure. Like there's a lot of cool aspects to storm chasing that aren't the storms. And anybody who's new at this and might be discussing or might be thinking about storm chasing, just remember that you don't have to limit yourself to this live streaming thing. You don't even have to live stream. Live streaming just kind of whatever. But there's a lot of things you can do. You know, there's people that make a living off of photography out here. There's people that make a living off of. There's a couple of people that like do paintings of like they take a picture of a storm and then they paint it and they sell it for thousands of dollars and they get rich off of it. More power to them. There's a lot of people that actually make money doing this in ways that aren't obnoxious or deadly. But what I will say too is you don't have to make money doing this. You can have a good job that supports this, and this can be your hobby. There's nothing wrong with that. This was my hobby for 5 years before I made a dime from it. And I still did it. I'm still here. So you don't have to actually make money at this to do it. You can just go do it. I mean, it's nice to make money at it, but you can still go do this on your own time. But because I'm going to tell you right now, I have been in tornadoes unintentionally before, and I've wrecked cars over tornadoes. And I will tell you that the best experience when it comes to an observation standpoint of actually being there is close enough that you can get out of the car and stand with the tornado. You can't stand with the tornado if it's from here to the door away. You're going to die, plain and simple, or get severely injured. The real answer, and I'll argue this to the grave, the optimal distance is probably about 1,500 feet to 1 mile away. Now, there's a lot, like if you're a photographer and you like those big wide shots of the sky, you probably got to be back 5 to 10 miles. And there's nothing wrong with that. Go wherever you want to go to get your shot. Like, there's no wrong answer here. But if you want my honest opinion, because somebody asked, if you want my honest opinion of like where I think the best place to be is 1,500 feet on a slow moving tornado to about 1 mile away. Gives you a nice look where if you go like the wide angle on your phone, you can go like that and you get the whole thing, or about 1 mile away if it's fast moving, but sometimes even a couple of miles, right? Like when you're this close to a tornado, all you see is dust blowing this way across the windshield. That's all you see. It's shit blowing across the windshield. Okay, it's cool. It's something that I think every storm chaser, whether they want to do it or not, is going to have to do at one point in their career, because just to say that they did, and that's fine. But I want to be where I can actually experience this, because I'm not religious and I don't do this like hippie voodoo magic shit, but it's almost a like spiritual religious experience in a way, whereas you're actually out there and you get to finally experience what you've been like trying to get to for so long. That's also why I try to keep to myself when I'm out there, because it's something that I want to experience with myself and like close friends, not weird random people that I don't know. It's just it's an interesting thing to do. And like those of you guys that are new that watch this channel, I'm just waiting for this damn thing to burst. It still hasn't burst. Those of you guys that are new to this channel, that's my honest advice. Just do something unique, or at least do something in your own flavor, if that makes sense. I get canceled for that all the time on Twitter. I get these 19, 20-year-olds like, oh, this guy's a piece of shit. Okay, kiddo, let me know when you've contributed to something other than, your YouTube channel, because I'll be honest with you, some of these guys got a hell of an attitude. Like they are too big for their pants. And some of them aren't. Some of them are really good. Some of them are, we've got some really good storm chasers out there, but there's also some that it's just like, okay, cowboy, like your balls are this big, but you're acting like they're this big, and I'm sorry with that reference, but it's just like, all right, settle down there, partner. I mean, Gone are the days of Cyclone Cowboy. Some of you guys know who that is. Unfortunately, I think the days of that are gone, and that's really sad. But I think we can kind of bring those days back in our own little worlds by just avoiding the pack. That's what I try to do, just avoid the pack. I think our battery died. I haven't seen telemetry from this for a little bit. Or did the API break? No, because SoundHub hasn't got it either. Nope, there it did. I thought the damn battery died. Nope, there. Oh, hey, and the truck just picked it up again too. It's acting a little bit goofy. Like, I don't know. I think the battery is low on this, so it is acting a little erratic. It could also actually be turning. It could be rebooting actually even in there, but you'd love to see a tornado in person. It can be disappointing. It can be disappointing depending on your expectations. I've actually been in a. There's been like you guys remember the Wellfleet tornado, the really pretty one, June of last year, the one by North Platte. Me and David Mayhew were the first ones to see that, and David's awesome. He got some really good pictures of that. He did a great job. I really do like David. Me and David Mayhew saw that first, and I'll never forget. That thing was on the ground for like an hour and 10 minutes. I was on the side of the road. I even think I told you guys, like, would this thing end? Like, I was sick of it. Like, I wanted it to be over. Like, I had to go to the bathroom. I was freaking hungry, and this thing was just sitting there, and it wasn't moving. Like, I was at that point. I was just like, okay, can we be done? Like, I was like, it was cool for the first like hour, but after that, it was like, all right, I think we can be done now. But you can get you get really pretty tornadoes in Nebraska. I tell you what, if you want to pick an area to go to see some of the prettiest tornadoes, eastern Colorado, Nebraska, western Nebraska, basically anything west of Kearney, and then Texas Panhandle. It seems like they're always really visible and really pretty. This radio sun needs to burst. It is, or this balloon needs to burst. It is still ascending. We're up to almost 60,000 feet, which is ridiculous. Eastern New Mexico is good too, but it seems like every tornado I get over there is like some rain-wrapped piece of trash. Do I like to chase in Texas? Yeah, it's like one of my favorite spots. For sure. We haven't chased much in New Mexico at all. We did once last year when Zach was out. He probably remembers it better than I do. We had a really pretty storm out there, but I had a full body rash. And it was not like herpes or anything. Don't worry, it wasn't like bedsheet herpes. But I had a full body rash, like a viral rash, like my entire body, like from like shoulders down. It was horrible. And I was getting so pissed because we were in Santa Rosa, New Mexico, and I was trying to put lotion. The only thing I could do is put hydrocortisone all over my body. That's the only thing I could do. And I'm trying to like rub it all over, and these people kept coming up to my car with my windows up, and they're like looking at my window and like trying to get my attention. It's like, oh my god, guys, like I'm dealing with a personal problem. Leave me alone. And I was getting so pissed. Like I was miserable for the last week of May and the first 3 weeks of June. It was terrible. Like I couldn't sit down. Like you'd think I was like a crack addict or something. Like it was terrible. It was terrible. I hope that never happens again. But that's why I remember that New Mexico day, because I about had a mental breakdown because I could not get 5 minutes where somebody wouldn't knock on my freaking window, and like look in while I'm trying to like rub myself full of freaking lotion so that I can like have a little bit of sanity. Like I was legit starting to lose my sanity because like everything itched so bad. Shit, I think like I scratched, like I was bleeding from like my abdomen and shit because I'd scratched it, so it was just terrible. It was horrible. Never do that again. I swear to God, if I ever get a rash like that, I'm done. 60,305 feet. Oh yeah, Paulus got that. Yep, he got it. Yeah, we're at almost 61. This thing needs to burst because I just want that damn sounding to start generating. Or not. It might not automatically generate. And if it doesn't, I'll fix it. But I just need to make sure that it works, you know. Oh, oh shit, I just closed it. Are you freaking kidding me? God damn it. I think it just burst. Are you serious right now? I literally just exited out by accident. Yeah, I think it just burst. Yep, it did. It's done. 60,000 feet. 60,899 roughly. That means we oh, did we get it? Did it generate? Sure as shit did. Look at that. So if you guys click on analysis now, you'll get the Sharpie sound. Look at that. Hold on. God damn it. How do I get this out? There it is. We have 0 cape. Look at the photograph. Look at how dry that profile is. So you'll be able to find this if you click on, God damn it. If you go to the analysis right here. That's what's going to tell us our cape values and all that, which we don't have. So that's it. It worked. What's the freezing level? Freezing level is up there at about 1,500 feet. Yeah, 0 cape. What a surprise. Yeah, we're good to go. It's down to 49,000. This actually might fall on land. Yeah, it's going to be close. It might be in the water. Maybe it'll fall on the beach. I don't know. We're still picking it up on my Tahoe. This thing is plummeting. Oh yeah, this will be in the water. It's not going to drop 40,000 feet in like 6 miles. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. But yeah, we got a full data. We're still, like I said, I'm surprised we're still picking it up off of the truck because that is quite a ways. Yeah, everything's good. We're good to go. So I think we're done messing with that garbage finally. Yeah, I think, yeah, it's over water now. This thing will be in the lake. So that's really all I got, guys. I'm gonna go clean stuff up and see what I can do, I guess. So thanks for being around. I might go live again a little bit later. I just got very, 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 very busy today. Yep, it's over the water. All right, so thanks for supporting what we do, folks. I'm out of here. Probably be back a little bit later, and we will see you the next one here.